Hello again, everybody. This is Dr. Glenn with Infinite Wellness, and we're continuing our question and answer today with some more questions from some of our patients. Again, feel free, please, to question or ask us anything. We'd love to be able to answer these for you. So going forward, we're looking forward to doing more videos, but today we're going to address one more of our questions.
All right, so this one says, when you get an adjustment, when your joints pop or crack, what is the sound that is being released?
Excellent. And that's a great question. I think a lot of people wonder. They hear the standard chiropractic is noisy. Chiropractic makes things go pop and crack. And some people who come to chiropractors love to talk about how they love that sound. But for those who don't know, it can be a little bit frightening. What that actually is us breaking your bones. No, I'm only teasing. Of course, we're not hurting you in that way. No, the pops and the cracks, let's explain that a little bit. Anytime you come to a chiropractor, our job as chiropractors are to move specific structures and joints in particular around to realign, to make things better and to function better. And when we move a joint inside of the capsules of all of those joints, all joints are encapsulated, they're surrounded by structures that keep fluid on the inside. Inside that fluid, there are lots of elemental compounds. In particular, a lovely one that most of us enjoy quite a bit, especially if you're a lifter or a bodybuilder, you know more about this, but the compound nitrogen, in particular, nitric oxide. Nitrogen gas is a very light and very stable gas. It's in most structures. We are made up of part of that. We are oxygen and carbon, hydrogen and nitrogen. There are other compounds, obviously, but these are our big ones. And joints are full of the compound nitrogen. Nitrogen is a very light gas. So to explain that to you, helium. How many people know what helium balloons are, right? We fill helium up. It's lighter than our standard oxygenated air. Helium, a very light element, allows our balloons to float. Nitrogen is similar to that. That is lighter than just pure water vapor air. And it also would make things float, but not quite as extensively as helium or hydrogen would. But it is definitely a very structurally light elemental compound inside joints. When I move joints around, when we manipulate the spine or adjust the spine, as chiropractors call it, those joints open up. And when they open, they create a sound. That snap or that pop sound that you hear is nitrogen gas escaping very rapidly. And when it escapes, it creates a sound. It's nothing more than that. Nothing deleterious. It's not breaking of bones or injuring of structures or tearing up of things. The pops are nothing more than the escape of nitrogen gas as a joint capsule is opened up, and that release of nitrogen makes the noise.
Have you ever, like when you massage your muscles,
Yes.
have you ever had this feeling of like, it kind of feels like bubbles that you're moving around? Is that a
Yes.
similar concept?
Absolutely. Great question. Same concept, right? We build up contaminants in our muscles, oftentimes through products like lactic acid. For those of you who know what delayed onset muscle soreness is, or DOMS, you workout folks, you know what I'm talking about. Delayed onset muscle soreness is basically a buildup of lactic acid in the muscles. And that buildup of lactic acid, as it's broken down into its constituent components, one of those is nitrogen. So oftentimes nitrogen bubbles in the muscle tissue, exactly same concept. And oftentimes if rubbed viscously enough, say at a good massage therapist who does deep tissue massage work, you're going to get almost that little crackling, popping sound as well, as that is pushed and alleviated and moved through the muscle tissue. Makes a little bit different of a sound. It's not quite as loud of a pop like we hear from a joint. It's very fast, but it is still moving that tissue, moving around through that tissue. The nitrogen gases and other elemental components that are breakdown products and metabolites, fancy word, metabolic waste from things like lactic acid buildup in the muscle.